Hello, everyone. This is Sam Ryan Hidari. I'm the host of the Sex Lies and Lawyers. Today, we have another great friend of mine, and you know him possibly, George Carmona.
Yeah, no, I've been behind the decks, right? We call it behind the decks. People think I'm saying dicks, but I'm behind the decks.
You are not
over
the
there.
deck. You are not the behind the deck. Okay, so you are behind the deck.
I'm behind the deck, like a deck of cards. And I've been watching your show grow, man. I've had the pleasure to help grow your brand, and it's interesting for me because I've never been in legal trouble.
Hopefully you are not going to be.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope not. But I did have a couple of unpaid parking tickets that I was hoping Kohlmeyer can solve for me. He's like, "Don't worry, I'll take it."
Okay,
I'm the problem
he's
solver.
a problem solver. A fixer.
Yeah,
apparently, but
he wouldn't pay for it. That's
make him pay. Why you are not letting him to pay?
Well, that's the
thing.
thing.
He makes shitload of money. Why not?
See, I'm glad that we're able to set the precedence now. So Kohlmeyer, you got to whatever
he fixes, he has to pay. That's it. That's a rule. That's
right?
a rule.
Because then I'm obligated to. I feel I have to answer I have to ask some of the questions. He wrote questions for the show.
Really?
Right. Does that surprise you with Kohlmeyer?
Like Kohlmeyer? No. That's the thing. Did I push you to be on my show today? No. That's my question.
So yeah. It's like, are you here under your own volition?
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, no.
You're not under arrest, definitely today.
Do you think you'd ever arrest somebody? Have you ever thought about I can make a citizen's arrest? I know.
Yeah, I did today to you. I brought you into the show. And your fiance is waiting for you possibly 10 minutes or 30 minutes.
I didn't get my one phone call, man.
Oh, okay.
I need a phone call.
That's the one phone call you can do to Kohlmeyer. That's it. That's the only one.
Do you think that would actually be a good person to call?
No, don't call him. Call Hidari Law Group.
That's true. That's true. All right.
So branded now.
Do you guys get calls like that from the jail cell, people's first call?
I get letters from the jail with the letter at the top. It says, help me. And I really don't do criminal law, but I still get those. I don't know why. I'm still baffled why I'm getting those emails. And not emails, they are letters, handwritten letters coming from the prison, or sometimes they collect calls, comes to my office number. And I don't practice criminal, but I don't know why I'm getting those. I possibly Kohlmeyer diverted some phone to me. I don't know. He does those things.
Dude. Okay, because that's got to... How does that make you feel knowing that, obviously you have to know everything in law, right, in order to be a lawyer, but then you kind of go into a more specific group?
If you go to law school, they just give you a general idea how to become a lawyer and how to research the law, to specialize yourself and educate yourself to be a lawyer in that specific field. Lawyers, they give you capabilities and the skills to be analytic, actually, and read and analyze and apply the law, whatever it is. But it depends on how savvy you are in one field and how much you practice one specific field.
Right.
Then you get that a specialty on your own. There is no specialization. There are some board certification right now. Recently, it started in California and Nevada. Then
for
you can
what specifically?
Become trial lawyer, personal injury trial lawyer, a specific board certified. You have to take some exams and certain amount of thing you do. You're family law specialist, immigration specialist.
Got it.
But rarely you see that people go because it doesn't add any value. Sometimes it's just a board certification. They say, oh, you met some standard. But some people, they were practicing 25 years in personal injury or immigration or family law. They're already board certified in their own mind because they know more than anyone else. So it's like a licensing. It's like a tag or the brand on your board.
So do you yourself, as you were coming up through the ranks, what let you know personal injury is where I want to be? Because criminal seems more fun, if I'm going to be
criminals.
honest.
They are more fun, less writing, less issues. There are specific issues that arises, and investigation is important. But the personal injury, always there are new issues, there are new treatment, new laws are coming out, new ruling coming out of the system. It's completely different, but criminal defense is like a civil defense lawyers. They have to poke a hole and create a doubt in the mind of the jury that they are not going to award that money.
Correct.
But when you are acting as a personal injury lawyer, you're acting like a prosecutor. You have the burden. You have to prove your case. You have to make sure the jury is convinced that definitely the defendant did that. You know what I mean? Or more than
Definitely.
50%, there's a chance that he did it. More probable cause, actually. So that's the difference. Some people say similar, analogize it actually, plaintiff personal injury lawyers to the district attorneys because they have the burden of proof. They have to prove the case. Defendant should sit over there and say, hey, did he meet the burden to prove that I did this wrong? No. And create a doubt. So in my mind, is kind of different. It's a skill. We need it, actually. The defense lawyer in the civil cases that they do the insurance defense, they create a doubt that, this guy had the pre-existing, that I don't believe him. There's a less than 50% chance that he was injured as a result of this incident. That's their job. They should just sit back and watch what the personal injury lawyer like us is going to put the evidence up for them.
Right. And
for
then
the jury.
know
And yeah,
where to
they
go
just
from there.
poke a hole in it and say, don't believe them. Don't believe this. There is no, it's an art of creation of doubt. I call it, versus the proving your case.
So is that one of the things? So like in the process of learning how to become or read law, do they teach you like methods behind like speech giving? Like is communication skills taught? Because I feel like if you don't know how to like act a little bit, then you're not going to be that
You're
good.
not good. That's the thing. It depends on what field you are going to and the personality of the person. Some people are camera shy. Some people, they don't want to public speaking. They don't want to talk in front of the jury or give a word diary because the jury selection, you have to talk to them around 2 days possibly to connect with them to see that they have a bias or not. 2 days of talking in the courtroom with the 50 people that you don't know. Some people are not comfortable with it. And you have to talk about every topic that you know and connect it together to see that what you get out of the jury, which one is a bias. So it's a lot of work. But some people, they don't like it. They teach that in the law school, yes. If you go through the trial advocacy courses, is there like a clinic or something? They teach you that how to do it. They will do a mock trials. You can just do all those things in a school. Then when you come out, you will see it in action. Another thing that I learned a lot from, I did those courses in the school when I was at Boyd. And also I did what? I clerked for the judge because you forfeit the salary for 50% almost to do that, but it's a prestigious work and you are getting exposed to the best cases if you are in the right courtroom. Specifically in Nevada, you sit actually at the bench, on the bench next to the judge and watch the jury trials.
Wow.
And the best trial lawyers come over and try their cases. You see the techniques and you see what the issues are. You listen to the sidebars. You see it in action, how the law that you learn in law school is going to be implemented in the actual courtroom, and sometimes is out of control. You don't know. I saw craziest stuff off the record outside the presence of the jury, that lawyers fighting with each other, even fighting with the judge, and then all of a sudden jury comes in, everyone is laughing, walking around.
You're just like, whoa,
Oh, what's going on?
here?
Exactly.
Like,
All of them are trying to be likable, nice, and but they didn't know that they were fighting or yelling at each other outside the presence of the jury before. Yeah, therefore they're coming in.
wow. So now, is that like where you were like, oh my God, this is way more exciting than I ever could have imagined? Because I would imagine like what I felt going through my education at UNLV, becoming a teacher, where it's just like, I'm learning all these cool ways to go about teaching people. But then like, once you get into the actual rhythm and you see it in action, like you're talking about, like my love for teaching, like went tenfold. I was like, oh, like now I really understand why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's the thing that I realized at the beginning. Litigation and the trial was for me, actually, my personality. That's the reason I try to choose the path that I get the skills set that I need for it. One of them was going to do externship for the judge. And then I worked for the judge for 1.5 years, even though salary was half of the private sector. Yes.
Okay.
And then also I did a lot of litigation with the firm, and then I opened up my own firm and I started doing litigation to know how the litigation pans out when you are doing it yourself, because it's a lot of deadlines that should not be missed, and there are a lot of responsibility and stress. And stress is rewarding when you feel that the client is getting what they need actually, and they are deserve actually to get.
Yeah.
It's different because insurance company, they don't want to pay anything.
Right.
Okay, they are in the business of the not paying and collecting premiums. I call it the collecting premiums and not paying you back. That's it. And they're blaming the plaintiff lawyers for just, oh, the premiums are going up because there are too many lawsuits. No, it's not because of a lawsuit, because you guys are greedy as insurance companies.
Right,
Yes,
right. They try to flip it on you guys.
Yeah, and some of the word dires we do actually, the jury selection, we ask about the frivolous lawsuit. Everyone is against the car accidents. Believe me or not, everyone says that, oh yeah, all these billboards on the street, on thing, the last jury trial I did, all of them, they are promoting lawsuits. I said, okay, what's wrong with that? If there are some frivolous, there are some legit. Actually, what bothers you? He said, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't know why they don't like it. I say, what about if a lawyer puts a billboard all around and say, I sue the other lawyers? Is it going to bother you as a malpractice? He said, no.
But that should.
But yeah, it should. If it's a suing and the promoting and promotion of the suing culture, then you have to bother you. But especially there is a bias against the car accident lawyers that they are doing it, and they don't know why there is a system in the United States that is designed this way. And in jury selection, we try to educate them and talk to them to see that how they understand and where the bias is coming from. And some of them, by the end of the year, after the polling, they tell and say, yeah, that was eye-opening, actually, the thing that you were asking.
Right.
Like the Mandalay Bay lawsuit.
I am not
Shooting.
unfamiliar. Oh, yeah.
There was a shooting, and they sued the Mandalay Bay for something happened across the street. Yes? And I asked them in the jury selection, what do you think about that lawsuit? If someone brought it up, I followed up and say, what do you think about that lawsuit, Mandalay Bay? You think that it was frivolous or it was right to do it? Some people said, yeah, it's not frivolous because people died. They say, so any kind of action that results in the death of someone and someone brings a lawsuit, do you think that they have to get money? They said, no. I said, then where are the scales tips exactly that frivolous, not frivolous?
Right.
And I told everyone, there is no wrong or right answer. The only thing that is as a result of that lawsuit happened, regardless of being frivolous, not frivolous, you know what it is? And some people raise their hand and say this and say. Also, they changed the protocol and the safety protocol for the casinos to keep the Las Vegans actually safer.
Yeah.
So that was the result. There is no wrong or right answer. They paid some money. Yes, they paid some money. But the result is that the system is designed in a way that it should be lawsuits to keep everyone in line, even the lawyers as a malpractice. If you come into malpractice, other lawyer picks up the lawsuit and comes after me. Like a medical malpractice, everyone is worried about it. Yeah, that's a way they enforce the laws, and there are some people supervising and monitoring each other's performance and to the compliance with the law. Like a financial institution, that they are afraid of what? That get sued, class action, if they do something wrong. Yeah,
Right.
not because they like you, they send the letters and all these disclosures to you
Right.
or calculate the penny to you, because they are what? They are afraid that there are some law firms that are going at and get funded actually and get the percentage out of those lawsuits, and they're going to sue them forever, and there's going to billions of dollars going to damage them. That's the reason to try to prevent and comply with the laws that is on the book. And who is enforcing them? The lawyers that they get the percentage and contingency fees, like us. Personal injury, plaintiff side.
Right. Right. And so for you now, the whole education route, at what age did you know? Like, who inspired you to become a lawyer? Was there like somebody that was like, hey, you should probably do this? Because I've been told that I could, if I was well read and studying enough, I could comply the law. The most interesting class I ever took at UNLV was actually special education law, which also was going to be another question I was going to ask later on. But who inspired you, like, to do
It's
this?
the kind of the system inspired me. Let me tell you, when I came to the United States in 2008, okay, I had my material science engineering degree, okay, like alloys design.
Wow.
For
So you were
engineering, math, everything, thermodynamics, chemistry, physics, everything. Okay, but also I had the construction field experience. But when I came here as a person that was exposed to the business, education, and everything, and said, I don't understand the society. It's too much law, too many laws here, that I have to figure out what's going on. And I tried to read the dummies book, actually, because I really didn't know what's going on as to the social security, as to the accounting, as to the legal system, what's the retirement plan is. Because other countries, European countries, they don't have any such a system that you have to provide for yourself for everything, even the health insurance, even the retirement plan, everything. They say this is like a wild west, really, that you have to take care of yourself by knowing the law.
Definitely.
And the more that I delve into the laws and the system, retirement plan, I say, oh my God, if you want to just sign up, there are too many questions. I don't understand this. What's going on here? Exactly. And then I started to say, okay, let's see that I can be a lawyer. But before that, I thought, let me do some paralegal work. Go to paralegal school. I went to UCLA paralegal school for 6 months, like a boot camp.
Okay.
I learned everything that I could at that time during the 6 months of the extensive, concise programming, actually. And then I started working for free for some lawyers. And one of the lawyers really motivated me because I always tell him as a joke, he say, you are my role model. You know why? Because I thought that if you could be a lawyer, I could be a lawyer too. It's a shut up. You are so mean.
That's true.
That's true.
You need it though.
I watch it and say, you are a lawyer, okay? I am a paralegal, and why I have to be in this position? I can be you, and I can be possibly better, okay? Based on what I'm seeing in capabilities myself. I said, okay, let's try it. After I got my feet wet in the paralegal school and legal work, I learned some stuff. I said, okay, it's time to go to law school. I don't think I have to waste much time. And especially at that time, there was a economic crash, actually. If you remember, it was 2008-10, that there was no job. Engineers, they were out of work with the 30 years of experience from the Boeing, from the other places, from Intel, actually, from the big corporation. They were line up in the front of the companies, actually, to get the job, actually. And I was among them and say, this is the engineering degree is going to pay me? I'm not going to be successful in this field. And especially in material science, that my field was so complex, and you should have worked for the big companies only, because it's a Boeing or something, Intel, semiconductors, or those kind of places. It was not something that I can open up my shop and say, I'm an engineer, like a civil engineer, I build houses.
Makes sense.
I changed my field completely, but I took steps very slowly and tried to be cautious as to what I'm going to do. But some people, yes, motivated me because I saw them that they can become a lawyer. I said, oh, I can be a better lawyer.
So you jumped straight to like when you came here, and it sounds like you laid a pretty good foundation. Where were you born again?
I'm Persian. Yeah.
Persian.
I'm
okay.
Persian, yeah.
So were those professions the ones that were pushed? Like they were like, you can't be a podcaster, Sam. No, you need to go be an engineer. Like there was a
lot of people. The first one, I lived in Nebraska, Midwest, yes, in Omaha, that no one lives there as a newcomer, yes. Yep. Okay, I lived there. I went to a law school to see that what's going on. And one of the law school advisors said to me, you have to choose another path based on your background. I said, excuse me? That was the first pep talk that I got, okay, when I landed, okay? That's the reason it encouraged me. That said, there is something in it that I can do. That lady is sitting here and telling me I cannot do it. You know what I mean? I'm crazy. Smarter than that, possibly. Yeah. It hurt my ego at the same time. I said, what are you talking about?
Dude, no, trust me.
Then I moved to California right away. After I heard that, I said, that's not a place for me. Let's go to California and see what's going on. I learned everything. And then I moved to Nevada for law school with my wife. Yeah.
And when did you meet your wife? Was that
before coming to the United States? We were married for 14 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And is she's
a pharmacist. She's a pharmacist.
Okay.
She was a pharmacy tech, actually, like me. We were like a paralegal. She went to the pharmacy school. I went to paralegal school. Then I became a lawyer. So she graduated from Roseman University.
And you have kids?
Yeah, two.
2 kids?
Yes, 9 months and 4 years old.
And they live out in California?
No, they live here. They go back and forth. Yeah, California. No,
Vegas
is better.
It's a great place to bring up a family. Like I think it's starting to change in that dynamic a little bit more.
Because it's not a gambling capital anymore. It's an entertainment capital. It's changing. The dynamics in Nevada is changing because the teams are coming in, entertainments. Is not only gambling. I don't think casinos, I don't know the statistics, but I don't think casinos are making huge money out of the gambling anymore. It's more than side businesses like restaurants, entertainment, club, and the other stuff that they just selling.
If I'm not mistaken, because I'm a degenerate. Growing up in Vegas and having slot machines around me since I was born, dude. Like, there's a bit of you that you look at money way differently when you're out here, right? Because on any given night when I'm 5 years old and I'm walking to one of the restaurants, right, I'm literally witnessing
people winning a million, half a million, $20,000, $10,000.
Right. So like money to me has always been like a little skewed because I see everybody just throwing it away. Like, so to me, it's like, I'm going to obviously work, do what I love, but at a certain point, like, money really is no concern. Like, everybody has their means, right? But
they look at it as a mean, actually, as a tool, rather than something that you work for, or say, oh, yeah, you can see that it comes and goes in the large amounts.
Yes.
You become insensitive as to the, oh, I lost $50,000, $20,000, $10,000, because you see people, they are losing their ass actually completely, and they come back sometime. But it depends. If they are professional gamblers or something, that's different. But if they are just the losers, that they are just losing the entire life or the assets and everything, is different. We have seen, as a Nevadans, actually, we have seen both ways. We have seen the professional gambler poker players that are making millions, even though they are losing millions, they are making millions too.
They've been in this studio, dude. I've heard the stories.
Yeah, and some of them, no, they just go play, and the addiction. That's a problem. And I heard that they are changing the law for the self-reporting, yes? I heard something.
As far as like what you're having to report on collections?
On collection, and also reporting yourself to be protected from the bad habit of the gambling. They can, other people, they can do it. They change it. They're making more stricter.
I would see that becoming more prevalent now that gambling, at least sports gambling, is traveled across the country. I think it's only not in like 15 states now. So you're looking at 35 states where it's, you're able to put in bets. So it's interesting because for those new cities and these people, it's interesting because the
Which
betting
cities
sites
they open up recently for the sport gambling?
Ohio was one of the ones that I think I recently saw. But what you'll see is those certain betting platforms, they'll give you bigger bonuses. So
to gamble or the bet on those websites. If you
sign up with their website, but they give you obnoxious bonuses because it is your first time and they want to start changing your mind into understanding.
What kind of bonuses? What do they do?
So like if I was to sign up and put
just a sign up bonus down, for betting,
they could match it. They could match whatever you put down deposit wise. So if I put $100 down, they'll give you $100 extra.
What's the cap on it? There's a cap, 10,000.
I'm pretty sure at some point there's a cap.
Like a retirement plan. They cap
all these. This is where I'm feeling like I'm separating myself a little bit because what I've been taught is there's gamblers, which I currently am, and then there's bettors, people that are a little more sharp and they have a better understanding of when the numbers are in their favor. Based on what I've been learning, it's like those guys who are bettors, they go to states like Ohio, they open up the account, they max it out, and they're already so sharp and they can catch an edge anyways.
They get the bonuses as well. They bet it on it and they make money out of those estates and those platforms.
And then, yes, people just travel, right? Or you get a VPN and I could be here in Vegas, but I'm, I have
your
an
VPN
IP
shows they are
in Ohio, and I
didn't know that.
Yeah, so
there's interesting.
Yeah, so that's me shifting from gambler to better.
To the better,
right? Like
for the better.
For the better, right, dude? Are you a gambling man at all?
No, my gambling is my trust. Sometimes I lose, sometimes I win. But usually, as a plaintiff lawyer, it's like a gambling. You just have to trust your instinct, and you have to trust your client, and then you have to spend the money, $60,000 to $200,000 sometimes, just for the cost, hard cash. That client is not going to be on the hook for it because I already paid out of my pocket. Not that my attorney's fees, just the cost of the taking into the trial.
Right.
So sometimes expert fees, the court fees, court reporter, deposition, all those things that is going to be tried. So that's my gambling habit.
Man.
That's
And
the
would you
gambling.
but would you say you're a better? You're that
It
good.
makes you better because you learn what you didn't do, you could do better each time, and how you could save more money, because that's the way you learn. If you don't do it, you don't learn. If you are scared of spending that money, you are not going to just
Well, that's gambling in a
improvement.
nutshell, dude.
Yes,
Like, I
exactly.
mean, even Austin, who's engineering the show today, I got him addicted to sports gambling a little bit. But
Gambling or betting.
he's a gambler right now. We're
Oh,
gonna
no.
make him a better soon. But it's after the first day you realize like, oh, if I want to make any sort of real money, like I need to be putting $200 down on that single bet as opposed to 20. You know what I mean? Like you want to be quick and dirty and precise with it. Same for you though. Like as you're getting older,
Exactly. You get more experience. Say, okay, I can use this expert instead of the other one. I can just do this. I can make it shorter, only 2 hour deposition, 1 hour deposition of the expert, or possibly I don't need the deposition of their expert. They have to pay $6,000. Sometimes when you see that there is no point by taking that anymore, it depends on case by case. But this comes after you gain experience and you are spending money and you are learning. As long as your expert fund is not going to be depleted, it's fine. We have an expert fund of around $4 million locked up in only for experts for the cases.
wow.
So these are the money that I already put for the hiring experts, doing the trial work.
Right. And then for your team
it comes
to-
back. Yeah, it comes back. It goes, it's some of them, yeah, we lost, yes, one case, actually $60,000 or something. But most of the time it comes back to the fund and goes and is expended again on other cases. It's like they call it expert fund for us as a litigation or trial fund.
right?
For us.
Do you think it's ever used as like a scare tactic? The more fees you rack up, the more confident you prove yourself that
In some instances, yes, but most of instances, no, because it's my money as well, and ultimately, I have to be responsible spending for the client as well. I'm not going to lie to the client that there are no. We cannot guarantee first what is the outcome is, because the jury is going to decide. But
Correct.
at the same time, you are not going to be crazy spending in the case that you don't see any potential more than 50% that there is a chance. If it's a 50-50, you have to spend. If it's less than a 50, then the other factors comes in. It's something you want to make a point,
Yeah.
or you want to just try it, or you don't have any other choices. You have to try it. Then we'll decide. It's not something that you say, I don't want to spend that money, or is it scarce tactic? I spent $300,000. No, it's not. Insurance company, they have a shitload of money.
Yeah, so it's
You know
you're
what
not
I mean?
scaring them.
They are not scared of the $500,000 or $300,000 fund that you put on the case, actually.
Okay.
Even though they care about the one penny that you are paying you, but they don't care about the $500,000 spending to the attorney's fees and something for the
Right.
$100,000 dispute. That's the way that
makes
you have
sense.
to see. They try to deplete or drain the money out of the plaintiff lawyers, because most of the plaintiff lawyers, they don't hire experts. They don't litigate. They don't try the cases. You know, if they
Yeah.
don't try it, they know they are not going to say, yeah, this guy just hired 4 experts. They are not going to do any rebuttal expert. They know that firm. The strategy of that is, they give it to someone else to try it because they cannot afford it, or they don't want to take the risk of spending that money in that case.
And would it be a person like you being the businessman, right? And seeing some of those firms and then just being like, hey, well, you guys are already passing off a lot of stuff, whether it's financial security. Like, have you acquired any firms, or like, or is that common? Like where it's
not
kind of like you
common.
swallow
I had
other.
I had some people that coming to me that they couldn't actually afford. They had the caseload of 20, 30 something that come over and merge and become a associate and the employee actually, and they bring their cases, they get a percentage of their cases. Yeah, I've seen that, because if you get more than 20 cases as a sole practitioner, you cannot handle those without the staff, without the fund. You cannot just mail your letter yourself.
Right.
I was doing it the same thing, but I was expending money to hire and expand.
Right,
But
right.
if you don't want to expend that money, then it's too hard for a sole practitioner to expand to 30 cases, 40 cases, and doing even the mailing himself, or getting one assistant to handle 40 cases, 50 cases in litigation.
Right.
So also each of them needs a fund at least $10,000 up to the time of the before expert. It becomes $400,000 money cash that is going to be locked up. As a sole practitioner, I don't
just
know.
under-
It
it's-
doesn't make sense.
And I mean, like, is that business loans? Like you're able to.
Sometimes they do business loan, but they are outrageous interest, and there is a
Right.
personal guarantee. They do a lot of stuff, but if it's your money, you can go to sleep at night. If my 4 million cash is spent on the thing, if I lose it, I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to lose it. Oh, I have to pay the interest on it. I have to do a bank or something.
Right.
That's my fun. Okay, it goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up.
Is
But
that like fundamental? Is that
some people
is
they
that
don't.
taught,
They
or
use
is-
the
okay.
credit card for that 4 million.
Jesus Christ.
They use a credit card or the line of credit for that 4 million, and sometimes they lose. We had another famous lawyer in California. He bet almost on 10 cases. He spent around 10 million on those loans, actually, from those people that they
That's
gave you line of credit,
crazy.
and he filed a bankruptcy because he lost 3 cases out of those 10, and he couldn't afford to pay back.
That's
So
nuts.
that's if you don't run the cash basis, that's a problem in my opinion in the personal injury, because you don't know
Yeah.
where you are going to lose when you are going to win. You know what I mean? If something happens 4 losses back to back, then it's going to you feel the heat.
Definitely. Do you guys have like a ESPN tracker of like Hadari Law Firm had 7 wins, 2 losses last season?
We win.
Or is it?
Obviously,
it's
it's
like
a vague thing, because you can win with the $1 that as a plaintiff verdict. Yeah.
okay.
Sometimes the win is you consider as a 10 million, but you got the $500,000 is not a win for you. But these things that the people say, oh, 99.99% success. It's a success of what? Because success is a subjective, and there are a
Right.
lot of factors in it. You didn't lose the case, it means that you never get defense verdict against you. Yeah, I got one, yes. But as to the rest, they were, well, all of them, there was some money. So I consider it as a win? No, some of them, $500,000 is not a win for me, because I was expecting 2 million out of it.
Right.
So what do you mean by winning or losing?
Right.
You know, in my opinion, if you lose, is when it's defense verdict. It means that you got nothing. It proved that there is no liability. There is no nothing here. That's a lose.
the biggest loss.
But yeah,
Right.
that's a loss. That's a losing, in my opinion. But some people say in the pre-lit we never lost. In the pre-lit, before lawsuit, there is no losing.
There's
losing
no
or
winner.
winning.
Yeah. It's
Or what are you
all
talking about?
perception.
It's a perception and
Yeah.
the definition and what you mean exactly by winning or losing.
Yeah.
So I cannot define it. When someone puts that advertisement somewhere, say 99.98%, and say, how you measured that?
Well, okay. Here's one of the. I know we're running short on time, so
Yeah.
one of my last things I wanted to ask was, are there, with the grow in analytics and statistics, are there calculators that you can put in all the information from a case and you can get almost a
Yep.
percentage point? Is there one?
There is a softwares, and recently we will talk about the AI later and how it helps the legal community later, AI
Okay.
actually. But right now, that's the thing we do. We go and see the similar cases, the verdicts out of that county. There's a verdict analyzer under the Lexis, Westlaw. They sell those software. You put the injuries, you put the thing, and the similar cause of actions. You see nationwide what the verdict value is in the conservative jurisdiction, non-conservative like LA, or the mid-level non-conservative like Las Vegas, Clark County, or conservative like Reno. Yeah,
Got
you
it.
see that how much the jury is returning verdict, but you have to read the fact to see that really is the same, and that's a basis for us to evaluate the value of the case. But the insurance companies, they are not going to use that. They are going to say, basically, oh, there's a $20,000 meds and it's going to be $30,000 value. But if you go to see the verdict, it's a $250,000 verdict value on average. Yes, they just try to play dumb that they're, but they know that there's a proper analysis is
Right.
based on the verdict, how the jury is returning verdict, based on
Definitely.
the fact of the case. That's the way we evaluate the case. That's the way we spend money on the case.
I knew if when you were going into like the amount of money that's being spent, I'm like, all right, people are too smart. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna have, like you were saying, any AI system be able to run through millions of.
Million of cases, and those companies like the Westlaw, Casetext, and the new one, Chat, actually, all this thing, they are doing that. They're gathering the data, analyzing it, and see that what the actual value is, or just give you the law. They can draft a motion
Right.
for you and sending out. You look at it, see all the applicable laws, because it's based on the pattern that they discover and see, because they analyze all the nationwide documents. Imagine how fast it is. I cannot do that
Now,
as a person.
is this pretty well known? Like, are these services pretty well known, or
Yes,
now
they
is
are
it?
well known, but they are becoming more sophisticated. They are using the AI in analysis. Before it was a very programming, interpreting or something, but right now they are gathering more information. They're putting together and is learning. The more data comes in, it automatically adapts. That's the difference between the AI and the pattern that we had before. Is getting self-trained and is learning. Is a smart system. Is different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we use it
We
a
will
lot
talk
here.
about it, how it's affecting. I'm writing an article about it, actually, how it's affecting the legal field. And some lawyers and the marketers in the legal field, they are scared to say AI is going to replace us. No, there are no such a thing.
Tell that to him. Tell that to him. He thinks AI is going to replace us all.
Replace what? The podcast?
He replace everything. Austin just thinks he's
Possibly
going to be
in 500 years. It depends, but not now.
Not now. See, Austin, we don't have to be
Don't
worried.
worry about it. 5 years?
He said 5 years.
5 years? No, man. Come on. Oh,
I literally just showed an intern their job evaporate when they wrote a script for the intern.
Yeah,
that's what the intern's job was. I don't need them anymore. So
yeah, that's good. So some jobs are going to disappear, definitely. The doctor's jobs are going to be limited, but finally you need someone to talk. Yeah,
right,
as a lawyer, you need someone to just make a decision.
Podcasters, you're not going to watch a robot.
It's like before the internet and the Microsoft Word or something. How they were communicating by the email, by sending a mail from this office to the office, the other office. Now the pace of the legal field possibly becomes 20 times faster than before. Like the internet that improved the speed of the legal field possibly more than 50%, because now you just send an email, e-signature, you file it. So before it was not like that. You have to send a runner to file something with the court.
Right.
So how long it takes? Everything is slow motion. But AI is going to give another hiccup, not the hiccup, another boost to the pace of the legal field, like .coms, internet, that they change the perspective. It's going to be like that. Some jobs are actually going to be eliminated. Yes, definitely. Possibly I don't need a paralegal anymore to put the documents together, because he's going to put formatting and editing, everything is doing it, and you file it. Yes, possible. Yeah.
So what I'm thinking, and I know this is crazy, right? But that could be your first sponsor of the show. It could be whatever AI company that you're bought into and you're vested into.
Yeah.
Tell them like, hey, we'll promote the hell out of you on, every show. You can just read a little pre-roll, because there are a lot of lawyers that I see like our content here. Like, so a lot of people in the legal community have been tuning in, and I think it could be helpful to people that aren't making the shift yet.
Exactly. We will dig into it later. Yeah. Let's see. You will be around. You will be behind the scene.
Yes. This was fun, man.
Thank you for coming on the show. Anything you want to add?
Follow Gridiron Junkies. If you like football, I have my own football podcast, records every Wednesday. This past episode, I went into Darren Waller, who was a football player out here.
Oh, really?
He got traded because he got like a girlfriend, and he was skipping rehabbing to go get engaged with his girlfriend. He was the highest paid tight end last year. He played 5 games.
5 games. Okay, so you'll have him on the podcast?
I won't have him on the podcast because I would grill him like you would grill somebody at a deposition. But no. I just give a little deep dive analysis on what is going on in the football world. So,
and when is it?
That's every Wednesday. Every Wednesday. I come out with an episode.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
thank you. Of course, partner.
Thank you for coming in. Thanks.